Hello and welcome. With us today is the author of the book, Point of Use Leadership, Michael Rahl. He is the founder and owner of JC Bridge Builders and is a Six Sigma Master Black Belt. He is also the winner of the 2011 ASQ Automotive Division Quality Professional of the Year Award. He was a speaker at the ASQ World Conference in Quality and Improvement, as well as the ASQ Automotive Division Symposium. He has worked with public corporations, private companies, and universities to help create cultures of leadership, engagement, and success. These organizations range in size from 50 to over 22,000 employees worldwide. Joining him will be Will Schultz. Will has been an experienced leader in operational excellence, continuous improvement, and process error proofing for manufacturing organizations since 1977. Let's join the conversation.
Hi, Mike. Good to see you.
Hi. Well, good to see you too.
Mike, what is point of use leadership about?
Well, point of use leadership is about transferring the executive leadership that we see on a day-to-day basis for decision making and problem solving and transferring that throughout the organization.
How does point of use leadership work?
Well, Will, when you go into an executive meeting and you come in with a project or a decision that needs to be made, one of the things that will happen is you're going through the project, executives will always ask questions. They're trying to clarify where are you, what information do you have, and what they're listening for are gaps or potential gaps in that process. And so what they will begin to do is ask questions to clarify or to make sure that they understand so that they can take business risk out of those decisions and make sure that they do the best job of solving problems for the organization.
So it sounds like it's more of a leadership program than an OpEx program.
Absolutely. Point of use leadership is about taking the OpEx problem-solving, decision-making processes and bringing them back to where they were originally designed, and that is to help business make decisions efficiently and effectively.
How would point of use leadership help our managers and supervisors?
The difference of point of use leadership, Will, is the fact that it's a singular process for leadership. Instead of attributes or behaviors, which we've been typically looking for, what it does is it gives leaders and managers a process to follow, a sequential process with open-ended questions that create engagement and interactive conversations to help them to gather the data that they need to make the best decisions possible.
So this isn't just another OpEx or continuous improvement method.
Point of use leadership is not about OpEx. It's about problem solving and decision making in an organization. It does use the OpEx tools, data repositories, flow, and the sequence, but it's for that problem solving and decision making throughout the organization.
You know, Mike, you're right. We get so focused on the tools a lot of times we lose the big picture.
Yeah, you're right, Will. It's been a challenge of OpEx to keep focused on the business concerns. And what we want to do is return OpEx back to its original state where it was helping leadership to make the day-to-day decisions. The tools are data repositories. And what I mean by that is the tools are there to collect the data from good leadership questions. And once we have that information, those data repositories allow us to look at them and agree on those decisions. What data did we collect? What is the data telling us? And allows us to create agreement and action for going forward.
So would you say point of use leadership is a question of scope then? In other words, there are leaders throughout the organization, it's just how much span of control they have?
Absolutely. Point of use leadership is a matter of scope. And what we mean by that is the fact that if you look at an executive, they have a broad range of complexities that they have to work with, decisions they have to make, problems they have to solve. But they're still taking the business from a current state to a future state. If I'm a process owner, individual contributor, own an individual process, I still need to take it from a current state to a future state. I have to ask the same types of questions, but they're broader in scope for an executive. But they're still the right questions for a process owner.
Doesn't it seem OpEx programs take a long time? They seem to linger for weeks, months, and even years. Why is this different?
Point of use leadership is focused, Will, on the day-to-day decisions that need to be made. About 85% of all problems or opportunities that we have on a daily basis, we can resolve by the process owner, managers, supervisors, and executives. There are complex problems that require OpEx expertise. You know, complex interactions, complexities, things that we need to take a step back and look at. Where point of use leadership takes the OpEx methodologies along with the executive questions and allows us to answer the day-to-day decisions that need to be made or short-term decisions. The other 15% of those, by all means, we still need that OpEx expertise.
There are a lot of problems that can be solved just almost immediately. But then there are those few that require the sophisticated tools.
Absolutely will. And we're not saying in any way, shape, or form that we don't need the black belts, the OpEx support, and the experts that are there. We do. But if you begin to look at the projects that go in OpEx, and I've been doing this for 30 years now, what we run into is about 85% of them can be solved by the managers, supervisors, and the process owners. The other 15%, which have complex interactions, we do need that expertise to help us solve those problems.
Why would I, as a leader, want to participate in point of use leadership?
Well, point of use leadership transitions from OpEx expertise to being a good leader. It helps us to focus back on the problem solving and decision making, which we have to work on every day. And so the process is designed around how you lead, not about becoming an OpEx expert.
Anytime we leave that standardization safety net, it's a scary thing for organizations. How does point of use leadership mitigate risk?
You know, Will, you're right. And always before, when we made the transition from a current state to a future state, we didn't have a process to follow. We didn't have the right questions, and so the risks were pretty high. Each person had their own approach. We didn't have alignment with metrics. We didn't have the right projects because we were focused on maybe checking the box. But what point of use leadership does is it brings it back to where we can engage process owners, managers, and supervisors, create the alignment that we need, and we're getting the performance excellence because we're working on the right things and we've reduced the risk in that problem solving and decision making efforts in the organization.
You know, Mike, I read the book, but having this conversation today has really helped me understand point of use leadership. And it's really not about business, and it's not necessarily about industry, but it can be applied anywhere, anytime.
Absolutely will. One of the joys of point of use leadership is it's designed to work whether at work, at home, or in the community. We worked with churches, we worked with schools, we worked with different organizations, and they were able to make better decisions, they're able to solve problems better. It's been a joy to be able to help in all types of organizations and situations.
That's terrific. Mike, it's been a pleasure spending time with you today.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure as well.